Space is a scary and fascinating place with many incredibly interesting things, but by far one of the most mysterious and also terrifying things out there are black holes. From the origins of black holes to what would happen if you were to fall into one, let's not waste any time and dive right into this one. Hello everyone and welcome back Top 10 fam. I am your host today, Olivia Kosolofski, and today we are going to be covering the top 10 terrifying black hole secrets most people don't know about. Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot we have Spaghettification. Black holes are a region or area of space-time that has gravity so strong that nothing, no particles, no electromagnetic radiation like light, literally nothing can escape from it. The reason the gravity of a black hole is so strong is because so much matter is squeezed into such a small area. When we stand here on Earth, we obviously experience gravity and a gravitational pull. When we stand, the gravity is stronger on our feet than on our head, but it's not strong enough that we notice any extreme difference. This isn't the case with a black hole because its gravitational pull is significantly stronger than the pull we feel here on Earth. This is what has led us to the very sciencey sounding spaghettification theory. This is basically the theory about what would happen to you if you were to be eaten by a black hole. If you went in feet first, because the gravity at the center of the hole is the strongest, your feet would experience more gravity than your head, which will pull them faster. Like your feet are basically getting yanked away from your head with a force of gravity that is hundreds of million times the pull we feel here on Earth. Your feet will be pulled until your body is a spaghetti-like strand and it splits, and basically this process will repeat itself with all the teeny tiny bits of you, and yeah, that's spaghettification. Cool in theory, horrible in reality. In our number 9 spot today we have the Invisibility Cloak. Like I previously mentioned, nothing is able to escape from a black hole. This is an important fact about black holes and one that we'll probably visit a couple more times throughout the course of this list. Because of the fact that nothing can escape from a black hole, this includes light. How do we see things? With light. Because no light is escaping from a black hole, they're invisible to us. Arguably the most terrifying thing in the whole universe is essentially invisible. That's so scary. We do have special tools now that can be used to help us find them, which is obviously ideal and great. These tools can show us how stars act differently when in close proximity to a black hole, which of course helps us identify their location. This is exactly the reason why, a couple of years ago when scientists were able to capture the first photo of a black hole, it was huge and exciting news. Honestly, space never fails to be absolutely fascinating. In our number 8 spot today we have the black hole universe. Okay, this one might sound a little crazy, but bear with me. It is thought that black holes might be able to spawn new universes. This is of course a theory, as we're not even sure if other universes exist, but the idea that it's a possibility that black holes might be able to create them is absolutely mind-boggling. Basically, in the most simple way to explain it possible, our universe today, in its creation, had a bunch of really specific and extremely convenient conditions that seemingly all came together to create life. The conditions had to be absolutely perfect, which they of course were, but if you changed even the smallest, teeny tiniest thing, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be talking into a camera, and you wouldn't be watching this video wherever you are. If you go back in time, 13.8-ish billion years ago, you'll reach a singularity, which is a super dense, super hot, and energetic point where the laws that govern space-time break down. We don't know what was happening beyond or before that point of singularity, so we can't exactly see what triggered the spawning of our universe, but what we do know is that there have only ever been one other instance in our history where singularity exists, and that's inside of a black hole. From a mathematical perspective, there's no reason the Big Bang couldn't have been a result of a star collapsing into a black hole. Again, this is just a theory, and of course there is so much more that goes into this theory, but they're bringing up some pretty good points here. In our number 7 spot today we have there's so many. The very first black hole to be found and confirmed was Cygnus X1, which is the brightest X-ray source from the Cygnus constellation. Since this discovery there have been around 50 or so black holes that have been discovered and identified using those tools we talked about, where they can see the star around the black hole. These discoveries are important and great and have undoubtedly helped scientists further their understanding about the terrifying mystery that is black holes, but are you ready for the scary part? It is expected that there are about 10 million black holes scattered throughout our galaxy. Like, what? That's way too many. A especially when they're invisible. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who finds that terrifying, but that just seems like something we should be talking about more. One day we're orbiting the sun and the next we're eaten by a black hole we didn't even see coming? Okay, that's not gonna happen and there's no way we wouldn't see it coming, but still, I just don't like the odds. In our number 6 spot today we have Honey, I Shrunk the Sun. In reality, we only know one way to produce a black hole, and that is by the gravitational collapse of a star that is about 20 to 30 times more massive than our sun. It's not an easy transition, but it happens. That is in reality, but theoretically speaking, it might be possible to turn basically anything into a black hole. If you shrunk the sun down into a small area only 3.7 miles or 6 kilometers across, you would have compressed all the mass in our sun down to an incredibly small space, which would make it dense enough to make a black hole. We can apply that theory to even us as humans. If you made us small enough, essentially the same thing would happen. Imagine if everything just started turning into black holes. I'm not sure what event would have to happen for that to be the case, but it would be a terrifying world to live in. In our number 5 spot today we have supermassive black holes. Not all black holes are exactly the same. There are some that are formed by a star's retirement, but not all of them are created this way. There is a thing called a supermassive black hole, and if that name isn't scary enough, just know that there's one at the center of every single galaxy, including our very own Milky Way, and we don't know why or how it appeared, but they might be what is holding our galaxy together. Black holes come in a variety of sizes, from the corpse of a star that is a few times larger than our sun to like huge monsters that are tens of billions of times more massive than that. We're talking like a range from the size of an apple to the size of the pyramids. Because of the fact that the center of galaxies is where a lot of matter is boxed in, it could happen that supermassive black holes form from a cluster of regular stellar black holes, which all end up merging together because they were in a tight confined space at the center of the galaxy, but at this point we just really aren't sure. Couple this knowledge with the amount of black holes that we think exist and boom, you've got nightmare fuel for years to come. In our number 4 spot today we have slow down. Black holes slow down time. That's it. That's the point. To understand how and why, let's think back to how space and time work in conjunction as explained by Einstein and use the twin experiment example. So one twin stays on Earth and the other twin heads off into space, traveling at the speed of light. They turn around eventually and come back to Earth, back to their twin. The twin that stayed on Earth is now significantly older than the twin that went to space. The twin that went to space is younger because the faster you move, the slower time passes for you. So taking this knowledge and applying it to black holes, as you approach the event horizon of a black hole, you're moving at such a high rate of speed because that gravitational pull is so strong that time will slow down. I'm just saying, I'll go near a black hole if it keeps me young forever. I'm just kidding. I think. In our number 3 spot today we have the Ergosphere. Things get weird around a black hole. Okay, so picture this. Space as a stretched out rubber sheet with grid lines that crisscross each other on it. When you place an object on the sheet, it sinks down, and with it, the grid lines become distorted. The larger the object, the more it sinks and the more distortion to the lines. That object is what black hole does to space-time. So black holes distort the fabric of space itself, and if they spin that distortion, itself then gets distorted. Like, picture that object placed in the middle of a rubber sheet was a drill, and the rubber sheet was actually a sheet of fabric, and then you start spinning the drill and the fabric starts to get all caught up in the rotating drill. In space fabric, this is called an ergosphere, and it is the shape of like a flattened ball. The ergosphere sits outside of the event horizon of the black hole, and if you were to be in the ergosphere, you'll find that you literally won't be able to be still. Space is being dragged past you, and you bet it's gonna carry you along with it. Inside of the ergosphere, space is moving even faster than light because according to Einstein, while matter can't move faster than the speed of light, space can. So if you ever went to space and found yourself caught up in the ergosphere, you can either move with the spin, fly away, or fall into the black hole. I'd probably pick flying away, but hey, the choice is yours. In our number 2 spot today we have the fastest black hole. The biggest black hole that we have found so far is said to weigh about 40 billion times the mass of our sun, or about 20 times the size of our solar system. That's so scary. That's so big! Some of the outer, slowest orbiting planets in our solar system, like let's take Neptune as an example because I can't technically use Pluto, although he's a planet in my heart. So Neptune orbits at a speed of about 165 Earth years. This huge black hole, the one that's 20 times the size of our solar system, yeah, it orbits once every 3 months. Do you know how fast that is? Neptune is considered slow, going at 12,148 miles per hour. The outer edge of this black hole is moving at half the speed of light. This thing is like the Usain Bolt of black holes. The crazy thing about black holes this large though, other than how fast they're moving, is that it is believed that spaghettification wouldn't kill you if you were to fall into one. In fact, it's thought that you would be able to actually survive. You just wouldn't be able to escape to tell the tale because of that whole nothing escapes thing that black holes have going on. Maybe you'd just be transported to the other universe that maybe was spawned inside of this black hole? Okay, I'm getting a little far-fetched, but hey, no one really knows, so who's to say I'm wrong? In our number 1 spot today we have the Accretion Disk. Just to end off this list, let's just talk about one more way a black hole could kill you, just in time for next Halloween. Another way scientists are able to detect black holes, or now take pictures of them, is because of the Accretion Disk. This is a glowing, rotating mass of superheated material that can be seen around the black hole. Basically, this is material like gas, dust, and other stellar debris that is close to the black hole but hasn't quite fallen in yet. All of this matter creates this flattened band of spinning stuff around the event horizon, and as it heats up, it radiates super powerful X-ray photons. So now that we know that, let's hope you don't ever get close to one. That's basically a spinny wheel of star stuff, and if you touch it, you'll be fried in no time. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thank you so much for checking it out. Make sure you like this video if you liked it, make sure you subscribe if you want to see more, and comment down below the scariest space fact you know. I've been your host today, Olivia Kosolofski, and I'll see you next time. Bye!